Say goodbye to your credit card rewards. Greedy corporate mega stores, led by Walmart and Target, are pushing for a law in Congress to take away your hard-earned cash back and travel points to line their pockets. The Durbin-Marshall credit card bill would enact harmful credit card routing mandates that would end credit card rewards as we know it. If you love your credit card rewards, tell your lawmakers, hands off my rewards. Tell them to oppose the Durbin-Marshall credit card bill.
Hey guys, it's Kara, and you're listening to Really Famous. Today's show is a little different, and I'm going to give you the backstory in just a second. But first, I will tell you who the guests are: Daniel Radcliffe and Steve Buscemi. Or Buscemi, which is, I think, how he pronounces it, but the Italian in me just keeps wanting to say Buscemi. You, of course, know Daniel Radcliffe as Harry Potter, and Steve Buscemi from so many movies and TV series. I don't even know which to name first. Reservoir Dogs, Pulp Fiction, The Sopranos, Boardwalk Empire, Fargo. Anyway, so many. And now, currently, Miracle Workers. So here is the backstory. The press department at TBS, which is where the show airs, reached out to me because they were doing a press junket, which is something they do in the entertainment industry a lot, where they basically get the actors from a TV show or a movie that's about to be released, and they set up a full day of back-to-back interviews, and each interview is like 5 minutes long, literally, and each journalist or interviewer has like 2 or 3 questions they can ask. And of course, it's specifically about the show. So I normally say no to these invitations because obviously it's not my style. I do the deep dive. I have each guest on for an hour, even longer, so we can talk about all the real things in life, not just one specific project. And I really like to get to know the person on an intimate level. But you know all that. So anyway, I always say no to these press days or press junkets. But this time around, I was like, let me see this show Miracle Workers, because I've never heard of it, to be honest, and let me see if it's any good. So I turned it on, and it is hilarious. It is like a 21-minute comedy. Steve plays like the funniest version of God, and Daniel plays Clark, somebody who's trying to make miracles happen for people on Earth. So funny, and they're both so good in it, and so is the rest of the cast. I don't know how I never heard of it before. So I was like, yes, I should watch this. I should help spread the word. And additionally, Daniel Radcliffe and Steve Buscemi, too good to pass up. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna do it. So I was allotted 9 minutes, literally 9. And I'm tossing and turning. I'm like, should I even say yes to this? I have to say yes, but this is not a real show. I'm not going to get to know them like I really get to know my guests. But I was like, no, I'm doing it. Got to do it. So I figured out some questions ahead of time because I knew this was going to be more of a specific question kind of interview. And I was hoping that I would break through a little bit and get to know the real person. And by the way, I was interviewing the two of them together, which is another thing I always say no to when somebody asks me if I'll interview 2 people together. So I threw all my rules out the window, and this is the result. I should also mention that it was TBS that provided me with the audio from this interview, and there is a little bit of an echo, especially when Daniel talks, but again, it is what it is. Here we go, and I'll share my thoughts on it at the end. Hi guys, how are you?
How are you?
Amazing to be here with you. So I have to just a little disclaimer off the top. I normally host a 1-hour in-depth talk show. I don't usually do the press junkets, but I'm going to do it because I love Miracle Workers. And of course, both of you are amazing. So
well, thank you for making an exception.
Bear with me. I'm going to do the best I can. So I'll Miracle Workers questions, and I thought maybe you could each answer them. And then I have a couple of questions that are more individual for each of you, if that's okay.
Sure. Okay. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So your Miracle Workers characters are super lovable, endearing, like all seasons, each character all the characters kind of are, to tell you the truth, but yours specifically. So was that intentional or did it happen by accident? And are you as lovable in real life?
I don't know. You'd have to ask, I think, probably the people in our lives. That last question, I think. But yeah, I mean, I think there is a warmth to the world of miracle workers always that is. There are very few. Yeah, in the first few seasons, there's like one very bad character in the second season and one kind of in the first, but like everyone's essentially trying to do their best and good people who are just come up against each other in different ways.
Well, I'm
Yeah.
here to say
Okay.
that
Steve?
Daniel is very lovable in real life,
And I could
and
say the same, Steve. Yeah.
but I mean, so is our cast. I think that's the beauty of doing a series. We get to play together, and then come back and do it. And this is even more special because we're different characters each season. In the first season, there were some actors like with John Bass. I didn't have anything to do with him. The second season, he plays my son. The third season, he's in the second season he's Geraldine's brother, and in the third season they're married. And yes, they're all very lovable. I think the writers tried to infuse our characters with traits that people can relate to, even when we're doing stupid or bad or crazy things. Hopefully, they're still relatable.
Yeah, I think so. Because most shows you have to have that one like detestable character, but I feel like I never feel that way when I'm watching your show. So I think that's not easy to achieve, I would imagine.
I feel
So
like there will
congrats.
be by the time you get to the end of season three, there's at least one person that you might be, oh, you're bad news. Yeah, but
Oh,
I won't say who
okay.
that becomes. Yeah.
Okay, I'll prepare for that. So let's say you could take any one of the characters from any season and have them as a real life friend. In real life, who would you choose?
I mean, the temptation is to say God from season one, because having God as a sort of personal best friend would be incredibly useful. But he is also like, he's kind of a hazard. So like, I'm not actually sure if that would work out. I feel like Geraldine's characters generally are kind of the most together rounded people in them. So that's probably like Alex in Alan's series two. Probably she'd be a pretty good best friend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just going to say that I would go with Geraldine in any of the characters she's played in any season. She's the character you just want to be around because she just, even if she's, wacky or doing something crazy, there's something about her that you just sort of trust that that you want to follow her. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So if you could take Miracle Workers and do a crossover with any TV series, so it can be current or past TV series, what show would you like to mix it together with?
God. I mean, I think the one that comes to mind for me, first of all, because it is sort of what we've ended up doing with this show, is there's an English show called Blackadder, which sort of did what we did in that it took the same group of actors and put them in different time periods throughout history every year. And it was with like Hugh Laurie and Stephen Fry and Rowan Atkinson and a bunch of other like very, very funny people. And I feel like, yeah, some sort of time traveling miracle workers Blackadder synthesis would be enjoyable.
Okay. Steve?
Cross it with another show? I'm not sure I
Yeah.
understand.
So like you take the characters from Miracle Workers and then you put them on another show so they would interact on another show, let's say.
Well, I would, it would be fun to see these characters all of a sudden like in space. So I would go with Star Trek. That could actually happen, because they would often time travel, right? Like they would, like I think they even did like a Western. Did they ever do a Western episode on Star Trek? I think they may have.
I don't know, but that would be cool. I'm going to go for that. And do you ever watch the show? Do you catch it later? Like, do you watch it, not for a screening, but, or maybe for a screening. Do you watch it and how do you feel when you see yourselves on camera in these roles?
I like watching it. I mean, Dan and I are both executive producers on the show, so we have access to like the cuts as they come out, and I always watch those. and then I try not to watch it as they refine it, because there's a lot of special effects. There's and then when the show actually airs, I love watching it while it airs, even like with commercials or whatever. I still like seeing it when everybody else is seeing it.
That's very exciting. But you're not on social media, are you? Because I would feel like
I'm
you would
not.
like that part of it too.
No, I don't do any social media, so yeah.
And
I
how
won't
about
be
you,
live
Daniel?
tweeting during the episodes.
Because I feel like it would be fun for you to like be part of that conversation as it's airing.
Fun
Live.
or terrible. I feel like that's a concern. Like I think there's like sometimes I love watching. I love like reading Twitter about shows that I am watching is really fun. I don't think I would like it the same way if I was also in that show and part of that dialogue. But yeah, I mean, I love watching the show when this is actually one of the shows that I sort of enjoy watching myself in more than I do normally, or I have in the past, certainly. I don't know if that's just the nature of the characters I'm playing or just, I really just love this show. Like, I love watching everybody else in it who I get to work with. I love the writing. And it's something I'm really, really proud of. So yeah, I still get a kick out of watching it.
I think that's has something to do with the characters that we were talking about earlier, why you maybe like watching yourself in the show. It's great to watch you guys in the show.
Oh, cool. Well, thank you. Yeah, I think so. Hopefully.
Okay, so separate questions now, individually. Daniel, what is the image that people tend to have of you, and how is it different from who you are in real life?
I don't know. I feel like I figured out a long time ago that like if I was too concerned with what the image everyone had of me was, or trying to like work out and calibrate what that is, then I would go slowly insane. So I don't really know what people expect. I know they expect me to be taller because they tell me virtually every time. So I guess like that's one of the images they have of me. But like other than that, like I don't know, and so I guess I don't know how I'm different from it. Yeah, sorry if that's a weird answer.
No, that's the great answer. I know it's hard to know what people are thinking, and you kind of want to keep it a little bit separate. Yeah, that makes sense. Although the taller thing, like that's must be annoying after a while.
I mean, it was annoying for a while, and then it's gotten so far past the point of that it's now just like it's not a thing.
Okay, cool. Thanks, Steve. I'm going to give you the same question. What's the image people have of you, and how is it different from you in real life?
Well, it depends who I meet. I mean, and like what they've seen. So some people have been surprised that I'm, a relatively nice guy. Like if they've only seen me in, like Con Air or Reservoir Dogs, they're surprised that they could actually have a conversation with me, and I'm not, and I'm not going to threaten them. Other people who maybe just know me from like Adam Sandler movies, they're surprised that they're surprised that I'm just sort of not like wacky and weird, and that I'm just sort of normal. So I think those are the two things. Yeah.
And how would you describe each other?
Yeah, we're actually over time. I'm so sorry. We need to move on to the next interview.
Okay. I would love to ask you that another time. I'd love to have you on my longer show. Invitation is out there.
Thank you very much. I'm sure it will happen at some point. And thank you for being shorter with us today.
Thank you. I love it. Good luck with Miracle Workers.
Cheers.
Okay, so that was that. Now I have to follow up with what I said at the end. I've got to get these guys on the show separately and for a longer period of time. Wish me luck. Stay tuned. I will keep you posted. It may take a long time. Sometimes these things do, but it's worthwhile, and I will continue to pursue this goal. So more updates to come. You can catch Miracle Workers on TBS and HBO Max, and you can watch the video of us taping this on my YouTube channel. That, of course, is at youtube.com/reallyfamous. And I've been dropping videos like 2 or 3 times a week now on Tuesdays, Fridays, and Sundays, generally. You will also find behind the scenes photos, sneak peeks, little video clips from upcoming shows, and you can keep track of me as I go to California in a couple of weeks to record on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. I have links to everything in the description below, and don't forget to shop through my Amazon storefront. There's a link in the show notes. Thanks for sticking with me on this very odd episode of Really Famous, and let me know what you think. I would really like to know. So, was this a good idea? Is it not a good idea? I don't know. What do you think? Message me on one of these social media outlets or drop me an email at reallyfamouspodcast@gmail.com. I'm Kara. I'll talk to you soon.
Say goodbye to your credit card rewards. Greedy corporate mega stores, led by Walmart and Target, are pushing for a law in Congress to take away your hard-earned cash back and travel points to line their pockets. The Durbin-Marshall credit card bill would enact harmful credit card routing mandates that would end credit card rewards as we know it. If you love your credit card rewards, tell your lawmakers, hands off my rewards. Tell them to oppose the Durbin-Marshall credit card bill.